All right, so to go.
So go.
How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Had a good day. Now it's kind of winding down, coming to an end, and
Awesome.
time to relax a little bit.
That's good. And the weekend starting.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Weekend's always good to kind of reset yourself and get some stuff done around the house and keep up all the good work. So
Absolutely. These kids are sleeping.
yeah, kids are sleeping. Got the kids down. I put my daughter to sleep. My wife takes care of my son, so got that done, and now time to relax a little bit. Say hi to the wife, hang out for a little bit, and try to go to bed early.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, good sir, I got a few questions for you.
sure.
So, why on earth are you doing Muay Thai? What got you started in martial arts? What was the inspiration behind that?
Sure. So I originally started doing martial arts towards the end of college. I was always kind of athletic, always liked to play sports, played some sports in high school. Um, I always kind of had that competitive nature, I suppose. And I have a very determined personality. So when I set my mind to something, I like to, achieve those goals and I like to have something to work towards. So really what happened was I had an internship in college and I was working with a guy and he happened to own a gym and he's like, "Hey, what do you do for fun? What do you do to stay in shape?" And I was like, I'm not really sure what I do anymore. I kind of just lift weights and play basketball here and there and stuff like that. And he's like, "Well, I own a gym. We do MMA." And I was like, "That sounds like fun." So I just kind of went to the gym, didn't know what to expect. Uh, Turns out I liked punching people in the face, and that's kind of how it all started. So I started doing MMA for about a year, but I never competed. I didn't wrestle in high school, so I was kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage there because I was kind of just fresh to everything. I ended up kind of getting injured a couple times, had some shoulder issues.
Mm,
It was all due to the wrestling, which, maybe I had bad technique or, it is what it is. But so I ended up kind of moving away from the MMA and started just doing kickboxing instead because I wanted to compete, but I kept getting injured when I was doing all the wrestling and the jujitsu and stuff. So I decided just to go with kickboxing. I started doing kind of like an American style kickboxing with Coach Marv, that and then soon after that, I met Crew Russ at the gym I was going to, and he's the one that kind of really introduced me to Muay Thai itself. I heard of Muay Thai before, but I didn't really know what it was and didn't really realize how much of the culture is ingrained into it, and those types of things. So after that, I kind of just fell in love with Muay Thai, everything about it, the beautiful violence, as they say, and the art of eight limbs. So yeah, it's kind of been history since then.
fantastic. And you've had a few fights already.
Yeah, so I think I don't even remember when my first fight was, but it was a while back, and then before COVID, and then COVID kind of hit, and nobody was fighting for, I don't know, at least a good year or so. So there's kind of a little bit of a layoff. I ended up getting married and having some kids as well during that time, so it ended up working out somehow. And then I kind of got back to fighting. Um, I fought in one of the TBA tournaments. I won my division there, which was nice. So that was kind of my first big Muay Thai fights. So kind of been just moving on since then.
Yeah. You still hold a belt from that, I believe.
Yes, so I won the belt there, and I hope to fight in the tournament again because that's a great tournament to go to. You get to see a lot of different faces there. Obviously, you get to maybe fight some people that you never thought you'd be able to fight because they might live in a different country or across the country. So we'll have people from Canada and California and I don't know, the Virgin Islands. You'll have people from everywhere kind of coming and fighting that tournament. So it's kind of cool that you get a mix of, you're not just fighting people kind of in your local scene or anything like that. You're just kind of getting, you get thrown into a tournament bracket and you could be fighting basically anybody. So it's kind of exciting. I kind of like the thrill of that, and I kind of like, not knowing who I'm going to fight. Sometimes when you're fighting, you might, try to overanalyze your opponent and things like that. I kind of like just flying blind and sticking to what I do good and just try to focus on that. So that's one thing I like about the tournaments. So
Yeah. But I remember Pete Peterson being so impressed that he said if you would just simply have your wedding there, and then he would put you in one of the rings so you could go through all your vows, and that we could still fight.
yeah, I tried to convince my wife to do that. It didn't work out so hot. So yeah, I remember when I was in the tournament, I was engaged. I remember that, and then yeah, it was kind of funny. But I remember Pete saying that, and it was funny. So
Do
Pete's
you
a
have
good guy.
Pete's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular fighters that you try to emulate? Is there like a Sanchai or a Ramon
Yeah, definitely.
Peters or
So, for a while, I mean, for a long time, my favorite kickboxer is Nicky Holskin.
Hmm,
Um, he's kind of the first when I started getting into kickboxing. I kind of really fell in love with his style. I think he's got really good defense, which I try to pride myself in.
mm-hmm,
Fundamentals, and then he's got some nice body shots. Some hard leg kicks. He really likes to pepper, 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 and then pop really hard. I try to do that too. I think that works really well. So he was kind of the first one I kind of really fell in love with. So I tried to emulate his style. He's a pressure fighter, but he's also a counter fighter. So he kind of plays that line really well. I try to do that as well. As of recent, I like Jonathan Haggerty a lot. I think everybody likes Jonathan Haggerty.
everybody.
He's pretty awesome. I don't know if he might be fighting tonight, actually. I have to go check that out. I know he's fighting soon. So, but yeah, Haggerty's really good. I really like him. Um, as far as the ties go, it's kind of hard to pick one of the ties. Obviously, Tywin Chai's coming up a lot. He's
Big time.
really good, but it's really hard to emulate him. He's just too good. He's too fast, and he does everything that I could only one day wish to do, but will probably never do. So, but yeah, a lot of the ties I like to watch as well. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Talon Chai, you have to if you could see his kick, you might be able to block it.
yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
really like Semipet Fairtex. I
oh
think
yeah.
he's really good. So I like his kind of Muay Cow style. Um, So I like throwing a lot of knees as well. I'm not a super tall fighter, but honestly, I've never fought anybody taller than me. I'm only 6 foot, but so I kind of like that Muay Cow style and putting on that pressure, coming in, throwing some knees, stuff like that. So
Fantastic. Yeah, that's
yeah,
deep to my heart. So
yeah.
what's your favorite part of training? And if you were to talk to a new student, what would you tell them to focus on during training?
Yeah. My favorite part of training, um, that's a hard question. I like all the parts. No, my favorite part of training is really just, I guess, pushing myself to new limits. Um, I really like when my coaches kind of just keep pushing me, more than just cardio as well, pushing me to learn new things. I really like pushing myself in cardio as well. I always like every fight I try to get to a new level of cardio. That's always my goal. Coming up, I have my first 5 round fight, so my cardio's really got to be on point. Um, but yeah, I think just pushing yourself to new limits. Crew Russ always kind of tells us that,
Hmm.
and I really like just pushing myself to new limits in whichever way that might be. Um, for a new fighter, um, if you're new, I would tell them to just enjoy it as much as they can. Coming to the gym is just, you know, it's 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 hard work, but it's also something just to enjoy and let some stress go and feel free. And then I would encourage people to kind of develop their own style a little bit. Um, and then focus on the basics. I'm a basics kind of guy, and I think basics win fights. So I would always tell the new people to focus on the basics for a very long time. So
I would agree. I would
yeah,
say the worst knockouts I've seen are from people who try to do the fanciest stuff.
yeah, basics win fights.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Uh, you mentioned a fight. So you have a fight coming up?
Yes, sir. I have a fight coming up next week. I'm actually a week out from tomorrow, and it's down in St. Louis, Missouri for Stand Up Fight Series. Again, it'll be my first 5-round fight, so that should be really fun. My cardio's on point, ready to go, feeling good. Um, I'm antsy to get down there. I'm ready for this 9-hour drive in the car. Um, and just starting to, cut a little bit of weight right now, and just kind of, keeping it sharp right now. And most of my hard work's finished. We're a week out from the fight, so just trying to stay sharp, lose a little bit of weight, and get my mind right, really. So try to stay relaxed, focused, and eye the tiger, I suppose.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. What words do you have for not up and coming, and I mean, sorry, not new students, but up and coming fighters? Because you've already seen some really hard fights and you've already met some really great challenges outside of your own state. So
hmm
if you have people who are approaching their first fight, what would be your advice to them?
My best advice I could give to people is, and this is the mindset I try to go into it. I kind of started martial arts a little bit late in my life. I didn't really start doing it till I was like 25, after college and stuff like that. So, um,
Me too.
yeah, I mean, but everybody starts at a different level, a different time. But I try to focus on this. I try to focus on, you know, when I'm fighting somebody, um, I don't just take it seriously, but I try to take it as, I think of my opponent as the next big thing. You know, the easiest example would be, hey, I'm fighting the next Conor McGregor. Because people that you're fighting, you never know where they're at or how good they're going to be in their career. And all of the best fighters all start at, lower level organizations. So when you're a beginner fighter, you very well might be fighting the next Conor McGregor or the next, whoever, the next Sandshire, the next Buakaw, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset I go into my fights with. Um, leave no stone unturned, and then be confident in yourself. And you build that confidence through hard work. If you don't put in that hard work in the gym, if you don't do what your coaches are telling you, if you don't, go that extra mile, if you're just going to the gym, 2, 3, even 4 times a week, like that's not enough. You need to do strength and conditioning. You need to do your road work. You need to run your base cardio, as well as hitting pads all the time, hitting the bag, doing all the stuff your coaches are doing. But yeah, that's my biggest thing is I think what's caused me, um, good outcomes in my fights is just having that mentality of I'm fighting the next Conor McGregor. You kind of got to get yourself a little psyched out a little bit and, get that fear instinct going. And it's fight or flight once you get in the ring. So just kind of go in there with a good mindset and, uh, you work hard and you put on a good display and you see what happens at the end. So, and then, normally it works out. Normally hard work pays off. So I'd say 9 times out of 10, if not more, the guy that works harder in preparation is going to be the guy getting his hand raised at the end of the night. So
You just said a very important thing because so many people think they can do everything in the gym, but I just heard you say make sure you get your road work in. That means you're also working at home as well.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'd say actually in the gym is like maybe a third of, what I do. Like I said, strength and conditioning is a big thing. Everybody's doing it. I guarantee you your opponent's doing it, so you better be doing it even harder. You got to build that, that running and or whatever kind of cardio you want to do is just it's just a good baseline just to get your base cardio up. And then doing some like hit workouts. The Muay Thai Bada system is great. I thought my last fight, the Muay Thai Bada system, really paid dividends for me.
Awesome.
I got through my 3-round fight, and I was like ready to go a couple more rounds, and then here we are at my next fight, and I got a 5-round fight. So, we're gonna put that to the test. So, yeah, I would definitely encourage everybody not to just do things at the gym. You got to do things at home in the weight room. Um, I've been doing physical therapy for a couple things just to try to get my body, in good a shape as I possibly can to correct any small things like my posture and other things. So I'm trying to do everything to get my body right, um, and basically get that victory at the end of the day.
Awesome. I have full confidence that that is your fight.
Yeah, I feel very confident. So it should be a fun one. It's for a state title. So it's for the Ohio slash Missouri state title for the IKF. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited to bring home a belt for you guys, hang it up in the gym, and see what happens after that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. This has been a fantastic interview. Is there any last comments you want to throw out there? Any social media handles that you want to promote for yourself or
I'm not a big social media guy, but yeah, I just want to promote Revolution Fight and Fitness. It's a great gym. Uh, John Juice teaches there. We also got a couple other great teachers up there, and it's a great place. So if you're a local in the Cleveland area, definitely come out and check it out. And yeah, that's it.
awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks
Yes,
for your
sir. You have a
time
good one.
and good luck.
Let it go.
Salty up.